Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Alia Dalondon, the next reporter. So, i-discuss ko is about the Strategic National Action Plan, also known as SNAP on DRR. What is SNAP? SNAP is an action plan of 2 to 3 years with a long term, or it could be 10 years. It is a strategic vision to implement disaster risk reduction in accordance with each country's requirements and capacity. So, ang action plan daw is a 2 to 3 years na parang short-term plan na ginagawa para may pagtupad agad yung mga hakbang sa DRR, tulad ng paghahanda, pag-iwas, at mabilis na pag-response kapag may sakuna. Dito din nakasaad kung ano yung mga gagawin ng bansa base sa kakayanan at pangangailangan nito. Halimbawa, kung ano yung mga equipment, training, or system na kaya nilang i-develop sa loob ng 2 to 3 years. So, habang ginagawa ang short-term plan, meron din itong long-term strategic vision, which is 10 years. Ito naman yung pangmatagalang direction or goal ng bansa para mas maging ligtas at handa laban sa sakuna na hinaharap. Ibig sabihin, kahit unti-unti yung implementation, naka-base pa rin ito sa isang malaking vision or target na makamit sa loob ng 10 taon. In June 2010, Executive Order No. 888 was issued by then President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, adopting the Strategic National Action Plan, also known as SNAP, on DRR 2009 to 2019. This SNAP serves as 10-year roadmap outlining the vision and strategic objective for disaster risk reduction in the Philippines. It was developed based on an assessment of disaster risk, vulnerabilities and capacities, gap analysis of ongoing initiatives, and stakeholder-identified achievable priorities that align with the YOGO framework for action. So sabi noong June 2010, naglabas si President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo ng Executive Order No. 888 na nag-adopt sa SNAP on DRR para sa taong 2009 hanggang 2019. So, ang SNAP ay isang 10-year roadmap or long-term plan na naglalaman ng vision at mga strategic goals ng Pilipinas para mabawasan ang panganib at epekto ng mga sakuna. So, ginagawa ang plano na ito based sa pagsusuri ng mga disaster risk or yung mga vulnerabilities at yung capacities ng isang bansa. Kasama rin dito yung gap analysis or pagsusuri kung ano pa yung kulang sa mga kasalukuyang programs at mga priority actions na napagkasunduan ng mga stakeholders. So, lahat ng ito is nakakonect sa YOGO Framework for Action, also known as HFA. So, itong YOGO na framework na to is isang international guide para sa disaster risk reduction. These SNAP priority projects have been integrated into the NDRRM plan, considering learnings and gaps from the SNAP. A review was conducted to assess alignment with the new NDRRM framework. DRRM in the Philippines has seen progress but faces challenges in sustaining positive results to impact lives and livelihoods positively. So, yung mga priority projects ng SNAP ay isinama sa NDRRM plan. So, sa paggawa nito, kinoconsider ang mga natutunan at kakulangan mula sa SNAP para mas mapaayos pa ang mga programs sa disaster preparedness at response sa ating bansa. So, nagkaroon din ng review para siguraduhin na tugma ang mga plano sa bagong NDRRM framework na nagsisibing gabay sa kung paano mas epektibong nakakabawas sa epekto ng mga sakuna. So sa Pilipinas, kahit may malaking progress na yung DRRM tulad ng mas mabilis na pag-response at mas maayos na coordination ng mga agency, may mga challenges pa rin lalo na sa pagpapatuloy ng mga programs, katulad ng kakulangan sa pondo at awareness ng mga tao. Kaya't patuloy ang effort ng gobyerno at mga lokal na pamahalaan para masigurado na ang mga programs ay may long-term impact sa buhay at kabuhayan ng mga Pilipino, lalo na sa mga madalas tamaan ng bagyo at ibang mga kalamidad. This SNAP emphasizes that DRRR is interconnected with poverty reduction and sustainable development and underscores the importance of stakeholders' participation to mainstream DRRR across relevant sectors in society. Aligned with global commitments, the Philippine SNAP aims to enhance community resilience to disasters, aiming to reduce losses in lives and assets. It includes the 5 strategic objectives. So sabi dito yung SNAP is nag-highlight na yung disaster risk reduction is closely connected with poverty reduction and sustainable development. Ibig sabihin, kapag nababawasan yung epekto ng sakuna, mas nababawasan din yung kahirapan at mas nagiging matatag ang pagunlad ng ating bansa. So, binibigyan din ng diin ng SNAP ang pagiging importante ng participation ng mga stakeholders gaya ng government agency, LGUs, and communities para maisama ang DRRR sa iba't ibang sektor ng ating lipunan. So, kasabay din dito yung mga global commitments. So, goal ng Philippine SNAP na mas palakasin pa yung resilience ng ating community laban sa sakuna, katulad ng bagyo, earthquake, and etc. So, para mabawasan ang pagkawala ng buhay at ari-arian. So, i-explain ko yung 5 strategic objectives, which is yung mauuna ay yung enabling environment. So, sabi dito is, it adopts a responsive legal and policy framework which creates an enabling environment for all Filipino citizens and the government and guides them toward reducing losses from disaster. So, meaning to say dito is kailangan ng bansa ng mga batas at policies na nakakatulong sa lahat, government ito or citizens, para maging handa at mabawasan ng damage kapag may disaster. So, dito is, kung i-connect natin sa school, is parang rules sa school na hindi lang basta bawal, kundi para talagang nakakatulong ito para maging safe ang lahat. So, second naman is yung financial and economic soundness. So, it pursues cost-effective ways and means to offset socio-economic losses from disaster and prepare the nation for disaster recovery. So, meaning to say, dapat may smart and tipid-friendly strategies para mabawasan yung economic losses pag may disaster. So, hindi lang dapat yung government is puro gastos, dapat wise spending para mabilis makabawi ang bansa after the calamity. For example, nito is government funds for quick rehabilitation after the bagyo. Or di kaya pag-provide ng crop insurance sa farmers para hindi sila lugi kapag binagyo ang pananim. Next is the supportive decision-making for an enlightened citizenry. Use the best available and practicable tools and technologies from social and natural sciences to support decisions by stakeholders in avoiding, preventing, and reducing disaster impacts. Meaning, gamitan ng best technology, science, and data para makagawa ng tamang decisions. Kailangan inform ang mga citizens para hindi sila manatataranta at alam nila kung ano yung gagawin bago pa man dumating ang disaster risk. For example is yung paggamit ng weather apps at hazard maps para makita kung saan ba madalas bahain ang isang lugar. Or di kaya real-time text alerts, katulad ng Pag-asa, yung natatanggap natin every time na meron nangyayari from the NDRRM. Diba? Next naman is the safety and well-being enhancements. So, it increase capacity, reduce vulnerability, and achieve improved public safety and well-being. So, meaning to say, yung goal dito is i-level up yung kakayahan ng communities para mas maging handa at mas ligtas. So, the more prepared you are, the less vulnerable you become. Sabi nga nila, di ba? For example, dito is conducting community evacuation drills para alam ng lahat saan pupunta during emergency. So, nangyari ito nung sunod-sunod na linggo. So, kami ng mga third year student, we decided na magkaroon ng earthquake drill sa school namin, which is most of us na hindi alam kung ano yung proper drills or proper na pagsagawa ng drop, cover, and hold. And with that help is mas lalo kaming naging aware kung ano bang dapat gawin every time na may sakunang nangyayari, katulad ng earthquake or fire. Ganun. And lastly is the implementation and evaluation of disaster risk reduction. So, it monitor and assess progress on DRRR and prepare better for disasters in terms of identified risks and warning systems. So, dito is dapat laging chine-check kung effective ba yung mga ginagawa para sa DRRR. Hindi pwedeng bahala na, yung bahala na word, di ba? Na kailangan every time na may task, sasabihin nilang, bahala na, ganyan. No, it shouldn't be like that. So, kailangan updated ang warning systems at may regular assessments. For example is, yung yearly evaluation ng LGU kung effective ba ang evacuation plans tapos i-adjust kung may kulang ito. So, next naman is YSNAP. The first one is to unite government departments and stakeholders in building consensus and gaining commitment to achieve disaster risk reduction and priorities. Meaning to say, ang goal nito is magkaisa ang iba't ibang government offices at partners para pare-pareho ang direction at priority pagdating sa disaster risk reduction. Kumbaga ba, teamwork para sa isang mission. For example, dito is yung DOST, DepEd, LGUs, and Red Cross is nagwo-work together para sa disaster drills at evacuation plans. Next naman dito is to enhance the efficiency of resource allocation and utilization by setting clear objectives, outputs, and activities within a single integrated program. Meaning to say, kailangan maging organized at klaro kung saan napupunta yung budget at resources. So, dapat may specific goals at activities para hindi nasasayang yung pera at effort. For example, nato is, imbis na magkanya-kanya yung program is gagawin na lang isang integrated disaster plan para hindi doble-doble yung gastos. Okay. Next is to strengthening institution and system for disaster risk reduction by building an effective, decentralized DRRR system supported at the highest level of the government. Meaning, kailangan palakasin yung mga offices at system para sa disaster preparedness. So, dapat decentralized ito. Ibig sabihin, hindi lang national. So, kailangan dito yung mga barangay officials at local governments para ma-empower din. For example, this is pag-create ng barangay DRRM committees to empowered with training and funds para sila na mismo yung mag-handle ng local emergencies. Next is to raise awareness and build commitment for better coordination, monitoring, and management of programs and activities. So, next dito is, para gumana yung DRRR, kailangan aware ang lahat at committed sa coordination at monitoring. Hindi pwedeng government lang, dapat pati yung community ay may involvement. For example, dito is campaigns in schools and barangays about disaster readiness, like posters, seminars, and social media infographics. So, pwede din may regular reminders about what to do during earthquake. So, next naman, i-discuss ko yung DRRR versus CCA, also known as Disaster Risk Reduction versus Climate Change Adaptation. So, DRRR versus CCA. The acronyms DRRR and CCA are linked but have conceptual and operational divides. When converged, they aim to increase people's capacity to adapt to climate change and hazards, reducing their vulnerabilities. In the country, these concepts are often seen as opposing and have worked in isolation. Climate change impacts vulnerable communities, exposing their lives and livelihoods to more risk. By increasing resilience to disaster through risk reduction efforts, people can adapt to climate change effects and become less vulnerable. So, dito naman, yung DRRR at CCA ay may magkaibang concept pero pareho yung goal na protektahan yung mga tao at community mula sa panganib. Yung DRRR is nakafocus sa pag-iwas or pagbabawas ng epekto ng disaster tulad ng bagyo, baha, or lindol, habang CCA is nakafocus sa pag-angkop sa long-term effect ng climate change tulad ng mas matinding bagyo, tagtuyot, at pagbabago ng panahon. So, sa Pilipinas, kadalasan itong dalawang concept ay hinihiwalay. Kaya hindi ganap na effective ang protection sa vulnerable communities. Ngunit if pinagsama ito, mas tumataas yung kakayahan ng mga tao na makasurvive sa hazards at bumababa ang kanilang vulnerability. So, halimbawa, yung flood control projects ng DRRR at climate change resilience farming ng CCA ay kapag sabay na ginawa, protektado ang community sa parehong immediate hazards at long-term climate effects. So, sa madaling salita, yung DRRR at CCA is working together. So, if nag-work ito, mas lalong nagiging handa, mas nagiging matatag, at mas nagiging ligtas ang community. So, another concept of DRRR versus CCA. So, start tayo sa DRRR. Ang DRRR is, it refers to measures at all levels to curb disaster losses through reducing exposures to different hazards, reducing the vulnerability of populations, and building local and national capacity. Effective disaster risk reduction practices use a systematic approach to reduce human, social, economic, and environmental vulnerability to natural hazard. Meaning to say, yung DRRR ay yung mga ways or hakbang sa lahat ng levels katulad ng barangay, city, at national para mabawasan yung losses mula sa disaster. Kasama dito yung pagbawas ng exposure sa hazard tulad ng baha or lindol. Meron din dito pagpapalakas ng kakayahan ng tao at community para maging handa sa mga sakuna. Meron din yung pagbabawas ng vulnerability sa population. Ang effective na DRRR practices ay gumagamit ng systematic approach para maprotektahan hindi lang yung tao, pati yung social, economic, at environmental aspects ng community laban sa natural hazards. So, dito naman tayo sa CCA. Yung CCA is, it refers to adjustments in response to actual or expected climate changes to reduce a negative impact or take advantage of opportunities. Disaster risk reduction and climate change adaptation share common goals. Yung sinishare nilang common goals is to reduce the vulnerability of communities and achieve sustainable development. Meaning to say, yung CCA is isang way din at adjustment na ginagawa ng mga tao or community bilang response sa actual or expected na effect ng climate change para mabawasan yung negative impact or samantalahin ang mga opportunities. So, pareho yung goal ng CCA at DRR. So, which is bawasan yung vulnerability ng communities at masiguradong maabot ang sustainable development kahit may pagbabago sa klima or panganib sa disaster. So, if pagsamahin natin yung argument or yung concept nila is magkakaugnay yung approaches na parehong goal ay protektahan ang mga tao at community mula sa panganib at bawasan yung vulnerability. Kapag pinagsama yung DRRR at CCA is mas tumataas yung capacity ng isang community na maging handa at resilient and maging kabuhayan din at kapaligiran ng mga tao is maging maayos. So, another concept ng DRRR versus CCA. Sa DRRR, it aims to reduce risk from all types of hazards. It is natural and man-made. Ang DRRR ay hindi lang para sa natural hazards tulad ng bagyo, lindol, or baha, kundi pati na rin sa man-made hazards katulad ng fire, chemical spills, or industrial accidents. Example nito is pagtuturo sa community kung paano mag-evacuate during a fire at paglagay ng fire extinguisher sa public areas. Next naman is yung short to medium actions. So, dito naman is, hindi lang long-term projects ang DRRR. Meron may mabilis or medium-term actions na pwede agad gawin para mabawasan ang risk habang pinaplano ang malaking projects. For example, nito is conducting monthly evacuation drills sa barangay at pag-inspect ng drainage system bago umulan. Dito naman sa pangatlo, addresses all disasters like earthquakes, and floods. Okay, meaning to say, yung mga DRRR plans at activity ay comprehensive, meaning iniintindi at hinahanda ng iba't ibang klase ng disaster, hindi lang isa. For example, nito is preparing earthquake drills sa school at flood preparedness training sa coastal communities. Next naman is works by reducing exposure and vulnerability to hazard and improving preparedness. So, dito is yung DRRR is nakafocus sa pagbawas ng chances na maapektuhan ng disaster at pagpalakas ng kakayahan ng isang tao or community para maging ready sa oras ng panganib. For example, dito is yung mga flood control projects para mabawasan yung exposure sa baha. Another dito is community evacuation drills para mapabuti yung preparedness. Meron din tayong early warning systems para may sapat na time ang mga tao na makalikas. Next naman is CCA. So, sa first concept naman is CCA focuses specifically on adjusting to current or expected impacts of climate change. Meaning, ang CCA ay tungkol sa pag-angkop sa mga effects ng climate change, kung ano man ang nangyayari ngayon or maaaring mangyari sa future. For example is pagplano ng seawalls sa coastal areas para pagplano ng seawalls sa coastal areas dahil sa inaasahang pagtaas ng sea level. Next naman is yung long-term actions. Di tulad ng sa DRRR na pwede short to medium term, ang CCA ay may long-term strategies para matugunan ang patuloy at unti-unting pagbabago ng climate or ng klima. So, example na ito is pagtatanim ng mangroves sa baybayin para maprotektahan ang coastal communities para maprotektahan ang coastal communities sa future flooding. Next is addresses gradual climate shifts and weather extremes such as sea level rise, intense heat, and extreme rainfall. So, dito, yung CCA is nakafocus sa maliliit at malalaking pagbabago sa klima tulad ng mas matinding init, malalakas na ulan, or unti-unting pagtataas or unti-unting pagtaas ng dagat. So, for example, ito is pag-upgrade ng irrigation systems para sa tagtuyot or pag-adjust ng planting seasons ng mga farmers. Last naman is help communities become more resilient to the impacts of climate change. Okay. So, goal ng CCA is palakasin ang kakayahan ng community para makaya ang effect ng climate change. So, if na-implement ito is may possibility na maging mas handa at mas matatag sa long run. So, if for example nito is paggawa ng community evacuation plans at early systems, pati na rin ang flood control projects para hindi masyadong maapektuhan ang extreme weather. So, let's proceed naman sa disaster risk reduction and climate change adaptation in agriculture sector in the Philippines. Quick facts lang. So, sa Philippines is natamaan na tayo ng 20 strong typhoons. On average, enter the country each year, with about 8 or 9 making landfall. So the Philippines is also highly vulnerable to other natural hazards such as drought, flooding, earthquakes, and volcanic eruptions. So pansin nyo guys, every year is nagkakaroon tayo ng strong typhoons or di kayo mga habagat na sinasabi nila o yung normal na ulan, pero nagkakaroon pa rin ng baha. Usually, every year nagkakaroon ng baha. Sa ibang, hindi man dito sa Mindanao, pero sa Luzon and Visayas, mostly, tinatamaan sila ng baha. And this year is nauso na rin yung earthquakes. If you remember, di ba, this year, siguro mga around last month, ganyan, mga last month, is sunod-sunod yung earthquakes na nagpapakaba sa mga tao kasi baka magkaroon ng tsunami. So, 30.7% of the country's labor force are employed by the agriculture sector and are most vulnerable to hazards. Yes, totoo yan. Kasi yung mga farmers natin is usually sila yung mas naapektuhan ng bagyo. Kasi if nagkaroon ng bagyo sa Pilipinas is mostly ang mas naapektuhan is yung mga farmers natin kasi without the kabuhayan nila, specifically yung kabuhayan nila na pagiging farm is wala na rin silang income. So the Philippines is one of the most disaster-prone countries in the world, but it is also one of the most advanced in shifting from reactive emergency response to proactive risk reduction. The Disaster Risk Reduction and Management, also known as DRRM, and Climate Change Adaptation, also known as CCA, work in the country focuses on building and resilience of vulnerable farming and fishing communities to both natural and human-induced disaster, and enhancing the government's capacities to address threats and response to crisis. And yes, sa state na to is talagang yung Pilipinas yung pinaka-prone sa disaster sa bansa. Pinaka-prone na bansa na tinatamaan lagi ng disasters katulad ng bagyo. Yeah. Pero sa kabilang banda din naman is yung Pilipinas is advanced sa proactive na disaster risk reduction kaysa puro reactive emergency response. So yung DRRM at CCA sa bansa natin is nakafocus sa pagpapalakas ng resilience ng mga vulnerable na community tulad ng farmers at fishermen laban sa natural and human-induced disasters. Kasama rin dito yung pagsasanay at pagpapalakas ng capacity ng government natin para mas mapabilis at maging effective yung response sa anumang crisis or banta ng banta sa ating bansa. So, thank you for listening today. I hope meron kayong natutunan sa report ko and meron kayong natandaan sa mga diniscuss ko sa aking video report. That would be all. Thank you!